Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
I've been there. I might look polished now, but there was a time when I was homeless. So I know how vital it is to have a coat, being out there without a coat during a cold season like this.
As the temperatures drop, many across the Permian Basin struggle to stay warm. That's why Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller hosts a coat drive. But this drive is not the only way you can help West Texans in need. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll tell you about more ways the Salvation Army is helping this holiday season. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW. And thanks for joining us live on the CBS7 YouTube. I'm Mary Kate Hamilton. We're going to start tonight with continuing coverage. The Big Spring Fire Department is facing staffing challenges after losing funding. At the same time, the town is struggling to compete with pay in bigger cities. The fire department has seen 15 departures in just a few months, with 2 more expected soon. That leaves remaining firefighters working intense overtime, and that brings up safety concerns. This reality comes after City Council's controversial budget decision to stop funding 10 positions within the fire department that were grant supported this summer. No one was fired. Rather, the plan was to lose 10 employees as they quit voluntarily over time and just not refilling those positions. However, 13 employees left in just the first month.
Everybody has their own reasons. I'm sure that didn't help matters that the city, cut those positions, and it was seemed to pit them against us. We like to work with the city. We're open to working with the city to find, if there's an answer to this problem, we want all of our, smart minds thinking of how to fix it.
Delk says he doesn't believe the decision was made with malice, but it may have hurt morale for some. Big Spring Fire Chief Jay Hendricks says that decision came amid staffing shortages across the state, which meant bigger city fire departments could attract employees with more money. That came at the detriment of the small ones like Big Spring. Meanwhile, leaders of the city of Midland, members of the Firemen's Relief and Retirement Fund Board, gave an update on pension funding in Midland. And a forensic audit found that the city's fire pension is severely underfunded. The audit found that $3 million were lost because of poor investments. That's because of countless overtime and understaffing throughout the last 20 years. They find themselves with a remaining unfunded liability of $100 million. However, the city, Firemen's Relief and Retirement Fund, and other local entities have already put into place some solutions that should help reduce that debt and get firefighters' pension back on track.
It's about making sure the fund is not only stable for all of us that are going to retire, but there's already 200 plus guys that depend on this money because, again, as firefighters, they weren't paying into Social Security. So they're not going to get a Social Security check. This is their check. And I think we're doing a great job looking forward and making sure that we're going to take care of them.
Midland Mayor Lori Blanc says they'll propose a 2% increase of the city's contribution towards this fund, as well as looking at other options on how to reduce it. However, she says they will have to eventually address this with a voter-approved bond to pay for the unfunded liability.
I think it's the role of the city council and the city staff to present the circumstance and tell the truth about how we arrived here and the problems that we're facing. And then we rely on the voters to make a decision for the best thing to do for our community. We are obligated to support these firefighters.
The city has until 2025 to get the money before the state would get involved resolving this issue. An update on a story we brought you yesterday. Missing Big Bend hiker Christy Perry was found alive. Perry is getting medical care and being taken to a hospital in Odessa. She was found this morning about a quarter mile below the summit of the Lost Mine Trail. You'll remember that's where search teams spent the past 2.5 days looking for her after her car was found near the trailhead. The national park thanked all the organizations that participated in the search. In education news now, the Midland ISD had a special board meeting today to finalize the election results and provide an update on the school bond. The Board of Trustees discussed and approved the new program manager. Park Hill will be in charge of building the new schools, and they'll be working alongside MISD to make sure it happens on time.
They'll have people out in the field once construction starts, checking on it daily. We'll have that, but we can't devote all of our time to that work alone. And so they'll actually be on site. When invoices come in, we'll make sure that work has actually happened and it's complete and like we want it before we make those payments. That's just a little bit of the work that they'll do.
Last week, the voters approved MISD's $1.4 billion bond. The construction of the new school starts in 2025. And we've had lots of great sports stories throughout this football season, but this story comes from the press box. Delmer Batla has been announcing for the Garden City Bearcats for a stunning 51 years. He was asked to announce the games in 1972 and says he got addicted, and he's been doing it loyally ever since. At almost 90, he's now announced football games for his sons, his grandsons, and now his great-grandsons. His family says the dedication and longevity he's had behind the microphone is inspiring.
Yeah, I think, thinking back in the games, you don't really even hear him. You don't know he's up there. You don't really think it's that big of a deal. But as you get older and coming back here and at the games, you really understand how special it is that he's still up there. So it's pretty cool.
I interviewed all 4 generations, ages 89 to 12. You can hear from them all and get the full story coming up tonight on CBS7 News at 10 o'clock. And there were some football games played here locally tonight, and it was quite a nice night for it. Let's check in with meteorologist Sawyer McElroy. Sawyer?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't too bad of a night for any football games, and overall we're looking at a decent weekend ahead as well. Current temperatures outside 50s and 60s and even some 70s still across the state. A little bit closer to home, we're looking at 50s and 60s. 57 currently in Odessa and Midland, 62 in Fort Stockton at the present moment, 68 still in Presidio. Overall winds anywhere from about 5 to 10 miles per hour, just a light breeze for us for this Friday night. And as we're looking at satellite and radar, dealing with some clouds across portions of the area, we're going to see those clouds continuing to build as we head through the night. For tonight, going to be on the chilly side, those temperatures down into the upper 40s for those overnight and early morning lows. That light breeze sticking with us from the east-northeast. And for our weekend, going to be on the cooler side for our Saturday, mid-60s, mostly cloudy skies, but Sunday, going to see those temperatures back in the 70s and a little bit more sunshine to round out the weekend.
With the holiday season approaching, the Salvation Army needs your help. It's seeking volunteers to support its various programs throughout the Christmas season. Some of the programs that are in need of volunteers are the Angel Tree and Bell Ringers.
We're all better together, right? The more that we come together, the more people that we can help, the more people, the more needs we can meet.
There are some people this time of year that don't have a coat to keep themselves warm when the cool temperatures hit. That's why CBS7 is proud to host Tom's Coats, which helps people all around the area stay warm this winter.
Yeah, it's important for everyone, homeless or not, right? We all need a coat during the cold season, and you don't have to just be homeless to be in need for a coat, right? So it's important for everyone to have a coat during the cold season.
If you'd like to donate to Tom's Coats, you can go to our website at CBS7.com for the full list of drop-off locations. And with the holiday season comes the giving season, and you can give some holiday joy through the Midland Police Department's Blue Santa Toy Drive. It's the 3rd year that MPD runs this toy drive to give children the chance to open a present on Christmas morning when they may otherwise not be able to. The collection runs through December 14th, and after that, Blue Santa and his elves get ready giving out the gifts. MPD is happy to be doing this toy drive as a way to give back to the community.
Police officers are known for enforcing the law. We're known for being the disciplinarians, if you will. And this helps show that we also do serve. And this is one of the ways that we serve, and one of the ways that we show that we help and we care about our community.
You can drop toys off through December 14th at MPD or any of these locations you see on your screen. And you can also find that list on our website. Just go to CBS7.com. Senior Life Midland also accepting donations for its annual Warming Tree project. You can donate socks, scarves, blankets, and toiletries. Then all of those items will be given to Meals on Wheels seniors to spread warmth and holiday cheer. You can drop off donations at Senior Life Midland. Other drop-off locations are also listed on our website. Go to CBS7.com. Plus, mark your calendars. We are broadcasting the City of Midland tree lighting live Tuesday, November 28th. Join all of us at 6 o'clock for the celebration. Meanwhile, a 63-foot Norway spruce from West Virginia has arrived in D.C. after being selected as this year's U.S. Capitol Christmas tree. Take a look. Workers were joined by Santa and the Grinch as they carefully placed it in position. The tree will be decorated with thousands of LED lights and beautiful homemade ornaments from the Shawnee tribe and the West Virginia community from where the tree is from. The lighting ceremony will happen after Thanksgiving on November 30th. Now for a look at today's top headlines shown here in real time with real viewers on CBS7.com. You can see all of these stories and more. Just download our app or go to our website, CBS7.com. Still ahead, Formula One's much anticipated return to Las Vegas is off to a slow start. We've got the details about the bump in the road when we return to CBS 7 News at 9. Plus, coming up next Tuesday at 6 and 10, Hannah Burbank continues her series way out West Texas at Cibolo Creek Ranch. She'll dive deep into the many adventures the ranch has to offer. Don't miss it next Tuesday right here on CBS 7 News at 6 and 10. All eyes in the racing world are on Las Vegas this weekend because Formula One is back in Sin City for the first time since 1982. But just minutes into the first practice run, there was trouble. CBS's Elizabeth Campbell is at the racetrack with the details.
The Las Vegas Grand Prix is back on track after a bumpy start. Just 8 minutes into the first practice session late last night, a loose drain cover wreaked havoc by ripping a hole through one of the Ferrari cars. The damage caused the first practice session to be canceled and the second one to be delayed by more than 2.5 hours. It was the latest start of a practice session in Formula One history, but it was history witnessed by only a few as all the spectators were cleared out around 1:30 in the morning because of logistical concerns. A common theme of frustration for this Grand Prix as locals continue to complain about all the road closures and traffic jams the race has caused. Small businesses continue to suffer from the lack of foot traffic along the strip. One owner told me that he had to lay off some of their staff last month. But Formula One maintains their optimism that the city will embrace the Grand Prix, with the CEO telling reporters they want to be here in Sin City for decades to come. Their efforts to win over those frustrated will continue tonight with the third and final practice session, plus the qualifying race. Both race organizers and fans are hoping for a smooth session and fast speeds. Elizabeth Campbell, CBS News, Las Vegas.
The actual race is at 1 Eastern on Sunday. For us here in West Texas, that's Sunday at midnight. That was 1 a.m. Eastern.
Well, we're now a little under a week away from Thanksgiving. You might be wondering what the weather's going to look like. Pretty good, I might say. I'll have all the details coming up after the break.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's meteorologist Sawyer McElroy.
Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a great day. It was a pretty decent one for our Friday. We did have a cold front roll through, and it's kind of situated across portions of the area still tonight. However, it didn't really feel much cooler outside today. 60s, 70s, and 80s across the state today, and a little bit closer to home, we saw those high temperatures in the 60s and 70s. We got up to about 72 here in Odessa, 70 in Midland, 77 in Fort Stockton, 78 in Alpine. That was kind of our warmest spot for today. Current temperatures still on the warmer side, not too bad though. 50s and 60s across the area, 57 currently in Midland and Odessa. Just a light breeze, anywhere from being calm to about 5-10 miles per hour for our Friday night. For our satellite and radar, quiet conditions, even though radar is showing some moisture not really making its way to the ground at the present time. We are starting to see those skies clouding up a little bit though, and that will continue through the overnight hours into our Saturday. Really though, across the state of Texas, quiet conditions for us as a whole. On Futurecast, you can see those clouds kind of pushing across the area as we head into the early morning hours of our Saturday. And we're going to look at mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, the majority of the day tomorrow as well. A little bit of clearing possible in the afternoon and evening hours, but overall more clouds than blue sky and sunshine for us tomorrow. For Saturday, going to be on the cooler side depending on where you're located. 60s, 70s, and 80s across the area. Midland, Odessa looking to see a high of about 65 degrees. Fort Stockton, Alpine looking to see some 70s. Then Presidio, about 81 degrees. Mostly cloudy across the majority of West Texas and Southeast New Mexico, minus Presidio, where we can see a little bit more sunshine, mostly sunny skies. For our CBS7 First Alert exclusive 10-day forecast, for Santa's arrival at both malls in Midland and Odessa tomorrow, not looking too bad with those 60s across the area. We are going to warm up a little bit for the latter half of the weekend, back into the 70s, more sunshine as well. And then our next front making its way through the area on Monday, dropping those temperatures down into the 50s by Tuesday. So we're a little bit chilly, but overall we are going to see those temperatures rebounding into the 60s for the middle of the week, heading into our Thanksgiving holiday. If you have any travel plans for that Thanksgiving holiday, not looking to see any issues out of Midland. So definitely a good week ahead as we head into our Thanksgiving holiday.
Still ahead, we take a quick look at next week's holiday travel forecast. You don't want to miss it. Next on CBS 7 News at 9. Thanksgiving is next week, if you can believe it, and we are getting a glimpse into what you can expect if you're traveling. AAA says this Thanksgiving travel period is expected to be the busiest in several years, and the TSA expects it to be a record setter for air travel. In today's Consumer Watch, Cole Higgins has a closer look and some tips and hacks to make your traveling a little smoother.
If you're traveling over the Thanksgiving holiday, pack your patience. It's expected to be a record-setting travel season in the skies and a busy one on the roads.
The trend is that people are still traveling in very large volumes.
AAA is forecasting 55.4 million people will be traveling to their holiday destinations, including more than 49 million who will drive to their destination between the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and the Sunday after the holiday. If you're hitting the road, AAA says that Wednesday afternoon is still the worst time to hit the roads, with AAA recommending you leave on actual Thanksgiving Day.
It shortens the amount of time that you're at your destination, but it also shortens the amount of time that you're in transit.
The Sunday after Thanksgiving is also brutal, but not as busy as it could be.
Hybrid schedules and remote schedules have changed everything because now people can leave for holiday travel at different times.
If you're taking to the skies, brace yourself for packed airports and possible delays and cancellations. The Transportation Security Administration is bracing for an all-time record number of passengers at airports nationwide on this Sunday after Thanksgiving. So what can you do to minimize the chaos at the airport? One travel expert says avoid checking a bag in case your flight gets canceled and you're moved to a different one. Take public transit to the airport or book your parking spot online now. And finally, give yourself plenty plenty of time, be flexible and very patient.
There's always going to be some amount of cancellations that happen as long as we have bad weather.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
Right now, MAF is asking travelers to arrive at the airport 90 minutes before their flight. Still ahead, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, look up at the sky. We've got the details of a meteor shower coming up in just a few minutes. We have some evening entertainment for your weekend plans, and all this one requires is for you to look up at the sky. My favorite kind of evening plan, one that's free.
Yeah, pretty easy too.
Yeah, this is awesome. The Leonid meteor shower is expected to peak at around midnight at any time zone this Saturday morning, aka that's really in just about 3 hours.
Yeah, 3-ish hours, yeah.
So if you're up already, then stay up for a little while. The shower is expected to produce bright meteors, about 10 to 15 per hour in a dazzling display. They move fast, 44 miles per second through the sky. So although peak viewing time is again early this Saturday morning or in just a few hours, the same rates of meteors can also be seen for a few days before and afterwards. So maybe you're planning on staying up a little later tomorrow night. You should be okay. Sawyer, are the skies clear enough to maybe see this tonight? What do you think?
Well, we're starting to see clouds building, so if you're like Big Spring, Midland area might be okay, because right now we're seeing those clear skies, but areas kind of to the west are seeing a little bit more cloud cover. So maybe tonight's not the best bet to see them, but like you just said, kind of visible for the next couple of days as well. So maybe a better
tomorrow
bet
might be
tomorrow
better?
night
Okay,
or Monday night. Monday night or Sunday night, I guess. For our Saturday, though, looking pretty good with those temperatures. We are going to see those clouds sticking around. Temperatures in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, depending on where you're located. Midland, Odessa, looking to see about 65 for that high. Then for our 10-day forecast, we're going to see some up and down temperatures throughout the week, 50s, 60s, 70s, depending on the day. But overall, looking pretty good. Going to see some sunshine as well through the week, so pretty good for any holiday travel you might be doing going into Thanksgiving.
And look at that Thanksgiving weather. That's perfect in my eyes. I love a nice crisp 64-degree day. chilly in the morning when you wake up. If you're frying your turkey outside, you're going to need a jacket.
Yeah, overall, not too bad.
I like it. All right, thanks, Sawyer, and thank you for watching at 9 on the CW. Got more news at 10.